My name's Pach. I'm a photographer in Melbourne. My art practice, I'm not sure what should I say about my art practice. I photograph up in the photographer probably for about 5 years officially, after finishing my diploma course a couple of years ago. And since then, I've sort of discovered more fine art part of my photography and the more experimental part of my photography. So I really enjoy that. The unknown, I really like the unknown of the surprise of what you get, which is another reason why I like to also photograph on film. So I photograph, anything from a range of people to landscapes to anything really, and some studio work. So, and I've had a few exhibitions since I finished my course. Thank you to Jess from the Noir Darkroom for my first solo exhibition. And yeah, so, and I've started a business with a friend as well, where a fellow photographer, Tatiana, and where we want to basically sell our work in fun and useful ways. So on tea towels and cards and wrapping paper, things like that. So that's a bit slow at the moment, but then I've got my other photography work. So it's keeping me busy and yeah, what else? I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I'm an introvert naturally. So for me, not having to, socialize, and I know that sounds terrible, but it was like time to myself and it was calm. And the first 3 weeks I was out of sorts, really out of sorts. I didn't know what was coming or going. It was really weird. My husband Dean was at work. He lived there for like 3 weeks in the warehouse because we didn't know what was going on. But then after the 3 weeks, I kind of calmed down and I started to think, well, I'm just going to start photographing. So I kind of took things slowly and I wanted to photograph on film because that's slow and it makes you think about what you do. So when I went for my walks, I photographed the neighborhood, really. That's all you can do. And I really discovered front yards. Like, people have fantastic front yards, right? Like, it's really weird. Like, I never noticed it before. So the things I noticed were the front yards and flowers. I never realized in winter there are so many flowers that bloom. So those two are the things I really noticed around me, like, yeah, front yards. So I love photographing the front yards, and yeah, I did a whole series on flowers. So in that way, it kind of got me thinking about different ways of shooting. And the other thing I embarked on was this collaboration with this lady, Lyndon Nichols, in Ballarat, a music artist friend of ours started this project called the Random Collab. So you sign up for it and he just randomly pairs you with another artist. So he paired me with Lyndon, and we're still going now. We're still working on, we've done series 1, 2, and now we're trying to work on series 3, and we've never met. And we can't meet because she's in Ballarat, and she's so much fun. And we're just doing our double exposure series. So that's been really fun too. So that's kind of like the analog sort of concept, but really digital. So yeah, so I've discovered all these new things, and I've met new people like via online means. And one day, hopefully I'll get to see her. So yeah, so for me, artistically, it's been, I hate to use that word, but quite a journey, because I've done different things and I like to do different things. I get bored really easily. So yeah. Okay, so I'll talk about the Random Collab one first, that with Lyndon, and those are our double exposures. So basically we wanted to do like a contrast of I guess, landscapes. So Lyndon, because I couldn't really go anywhere, they were still able to go places. So we decided I would just go down do nature. So I just went down the local Darabin Creek and just shot nature. And then Lyndon shot the buildings in Ballarat. And basically she sent me all her images and I just double exposed them because she looked at my work and thought, oh, I really like your double exposures. So I said, okay, let's do it digitally, because in the past my double exposures were all shot on film. But because we couldn't do it together, God, wouldn't it be cool to do a film one where I hand over the film to her and I might do that one next time. Anyway, so yeah, and basically I just double expose them on digitally and with just minimal processing, because I wanted it to look as natural as possible. And yeah, our series grew. It's called Natural Absorption, and it was exhibited in Ballarat, and the Ballarat Arts Council they were so supportive. They paid for all the printing, they did everything, and they exhibited it for us in this laneway gallery. So those are the two images we chose were probably our favorites of the series. That and I suggested that, well, we should put that in Miss Rona. So that's what we did, and that was so fun. And yeah, and she's an amazing person, and we just keep going. We've done 2, now we're on to 3. So yeah, and the other work was my own, so that was shot on film. And that was, yeah, the result of walking around neighbourhood. That one, I think, was shot near Westgarth. And yeah, we're just walking around and thought, oh, that's interesting. It's a tram, right? And it's so Melbourne, which I love. So, and it would look like it was just abandoned, but it wasn't really. So, so I just shot it. And when I shoot like on film, I just like to shoot one shot per image, per scene, because you know you want to save your film, and also it is what it is, right? So yeah, and it came out, I thought, oh, that's pretty good. So yeah, so that's why I submitted that one as well. Lockdown number 2 was long, I guess. Long is the word, and more unknown, I suppose. Because lockdown number 1, I guess we learned more about the COVID, like what it did and how you got it. And then lockdown number 2 was kind of consolidating and frustrating, and being in Melbourne felt like it was like being in a different country because the rest of the country was open. So that was really weird, and everything you did was pretty much based around your 5 kilometers. Again, for an introvert like me, it didn't really bother me that much not seeing people. And I use Zoom sometimes, but even that, like I kind of, you know, it was just once a week. It wasn't a regular thing. So yeah, I guess, yeah, it was just really long. And I was trying to get my business running as well. So that was pretty difficult because we can't go anywhere. And our products are more touchy. We want people to see them rather than just, you know, view them online. So that was difficult. So yeah, what else? Just long, right? The unknown.
Yeah.
That was it. Just the long, because we've been in lockdown longer than we have out of it, right, this year?